The movie Interstellar opens with a world on the brink of collapse. Earth is suffering from massive dust storms, failed crops, and a dwindling food supply. Humanity is struggling to survive as the planet becomes increasingly uninhabitable. Cooper, a former NASA pilot turned farmer, lives with his daughter Murphy, who is highly intelligent and curious, and his son Tom. Murphy believes their house is haunted because books fall from her bookshelf without reason. Cooper reassures her but soon realizes there may be more to it. One day, a dust storm sweeps through their town, and Murphy notices strange patterns left in the dust on her bedroom floor. Cooper deciphers the pattern as geographic coordinates. Curious, he and Murphy follow the coordinates and arrive at a secret NASA facility, which is still operating in secret despite public belief that NASA has been shut down. Here, Cooper meets Professor Brand, the head of NASA's remnants, along with his daughter Amelia Brand. They reveal that Earth's situation is critical. Humanity needs to find another habitable world to ensure survival. Brand explains that a wormhole has mysteriously appeared near Saturn decades ago, seemingly placed by an unknown intelligence. This wormhole leads to another galaxy with potentially habitable planets. NASA had already sent earlier missions, known as the Lazarus missions, through the wormhole to explore possible worlds. Brand offers Cooper a place as the pilot of their mission, known as the Endurance mission. The team's goal is to follow the Lazarus mission data and evaluate which planets could sustain life. Cooper struggles with the decision. Leaving his children behind, especially Murphy, is painful. Murphy begs him not to go, interpreting the ghost in her room as a message for him to stay. But Cooper ultimately accepts, realizing this mission may be humanity's last hope. He promises Murphy he will return, though she feels betrayed. Cooper joins a team consisting of Amelia Brand, scientists Doyle and Romilly, and two advanced robots, Charles and Case. Together, they launch on the spacecraft Endurance. Before leaving Earth, Brand explains two plans to save humanity. Plan A, developing a gravity equation to launch massive space stations carrying Earth's population into orbit. And Plan B, a backup involving carrying thousands of fertilized embryos to repopulate a new planet. Murphy, devastated by her father's departure, refuses to say goodbye properly. She later becomes angry, believing he abandoned her. Meanwhile, the Endurance crew approaches Saturn and enters the wormhole. Inside, the visuals are surreal and terrifying, but they successfully emerge on the other side into a distant galaxy with several candidate planets near a massive black hole called Gargantua. The first planet they target is Miller's planet, which orbits extremely close to Gargantua. Because of its proximity, time dilation will be extreme. Every hour spent there equals 7 years on Earth. The crew debates whether it is worth the risk, but they decide to attempt it since Lazarus data indicated potential habitability. Upon landing, they find the planet covered in shallow water with enormous waves moving across its surface. Almost immediately, disaster strikes. Doyle is killed by one of the colossal waves, and their ship is badly damaged. They manage to escape, but due to time dilation, the few hours they spent there translate to over 23 years passing back on Earth. When they return to orbit, Romilly, who stayed behind on the Endurance, has aged to decades waiting for them. Cooper is devastated by the lost time. He watches decades worth of video messages from his children. Tom has grown into a man, married, and had a child. Murphy, now an adult and working with NASA, sends no messages, still furious at her father for leaving. Back on Earth, Murphy has grown into a brilliant scientist working under Professor Brand. She discovers that Brand has been lying. Plan of the equation to harness gravity and launch humanity into space was never actually solvable. He knew this from the beginning, meaning the true plan was always Plan B, abandoning everyone on Earth. Murphy feels betrayed and furious at both Brand and her absent father. Meanwhile, the Endurance crew debates their next move. They have limited fuel and 2 planets left to investigate, Edmund's planet and Mann's planet. Amelia argues for Edmund's planet, partly because of her romantic attachment to Edmund's, while Cooper insists on Mann's planet, since it shows promising data. Ultimately, they choose Mann's planet. Dr. Mann, played by Matt Damon, is awakened from cryosleep when they arrive. He initially appears grateful and relieved. Mann explains that his planet is icy but habitable. He shares his research data, which seems to support the possibility of colonization, For a time, the crew feels reassured. However, Cooper soon discovers that Mann has falsified his data. In desperation, Mann fabricated positive results to lure a rescue team, knowing his world was actually uninhabitable. When Cooper confronts him, Mann reveals his cowardice and attacks him, attempting to kill him by cracking his helmet in the planet's toxic atmosphere. Mann leaves Cooper to die and heads for the Endurance, intending to hijack it. Amelia and Romilly rush to save Cooper, managing to revive him just in time. But Mann, attempting to dock with the Endurance, makes critical mistakes. His lack of experience and recklessness cause the ship to depressurize violently, destroying part of the station and killing him instantly. The Endurance is heavily damaged, spinning uncontrollably. In one of the film's most iconic sequences, Cooper manages to manually dock their smaller lander with the spinning Endurance. The maneuver is incredibly dangerous, but with precise piloting, he stabilizes the craft and saves the mission. Despite the success, their situation is dire. With limited fuel and a damaged ship, Cooper and Amelia realize they can only reach one more planet. Cooper devises a bold plan: slingshot the Endurance around Gargantua to gain enough velocity to reach Edmund's planet. But this maneuver will subject them to extreme time dilation once again. As they execute the plan, Cooper makes a critical choice. To shed weight and ensure Amelia's survival, he ejects himself and Tars into Gargantua, sacrificing his chance to reach the New World. Amelia protests, but Cooper convinces her to continue alone. Inside the black hole, Cooper experiences the impossible. Rather than being crushed, he finds himself inside a tesseract, a four-dimensional construct created by advanced beings, which allows him to perceive time as a physical dimension. He realizes that these beings are actually future humans who have evolved beyond the constraints of 3 dimensions. They created the wormhole and the tesseract to help humanity survive. Within the tesseract, Cooper can see countless moments in Murphy's childhood bedroom, all existing simultaneously. He understands that he was the ghost Murphy believed in all along. Using gravity to manipulate physical objects, he sends messages through time. He makes books fall from her shelf and encodes coordinates that led him to NASA. Now, he uses the watch he left behind to send her the quantum data from inside Gargantua, information that Professor Brand had declared impossible to obtain. This data enables Murphy, now grown, to solve the equation for gravity. Back on Earth, Murphy realizes the truth. She deciphers the data Cooper sent through the watch, completing the equation and unlocking the ability to save humanity. Massive space stations are launched into orbit, carrying Earth's population away from the dying planet. The tesseract then collapses, and Cooper is ejected from the black hole. He wakes up near Saturn, rescued by humanity's new home, a colossal space station orbiting the planet, known as Cooper Station, named after Murphy. Now elderly, Murphy is on her deathbed when Cooper visits her. Their reunion is emotional and bittersweet. Murphy tells him that no parent should watch their child die, so he should not stay with her. Instead, she urges him to find Amelia, who landed successfully on Edmund's planet and is preparing for humanity's future there. The film concludes with Cooper stealing a spacecraft and setting off to reunite with Amelia, leaving behind the legacy of sacrifice, love, and humanity's survival. In the end, Interstellar is not only a story about space exploration and survival but also about the bond between a father and daughter, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring power of love across time and space. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of Interstellar, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more amazing movie recaps coming soon.